one of the things that's happening in our culture today is people are starting to wake up and realize that spirituality is not about belief.
There's a whole new thing arising, which is not tied into the dogma of the past, of religion, but takes out from religion its mystical heart, which doesn't need to reject, in fact embraces science.
Then you have emerging in the middle what I see as something very hopeful, sort of a new spirituality that's not based upon a religious dogma, but that recognizes that we're more than simply physical beings.
We of course have all those spiritual traditions from many years ago, hundreds of years ago. They probably typically mainly said the same things, talked about the same universal truth, but not in the same words. So those traditional descriptions, they then are not so well understood by our modern society because the language doesn't match. It's not of our times anymore.
We begin to become aware that consciousness is waking up. Now, I'm not speaking you and me, I'm speaking consciousness.
And I consider it the greatest gift in my whole life that I have this memory. And I've never doubted it. I've never, even when I couldn't speak of it, because in those days, people were being locked up for a long time.
This whole process of spiritual transformation needs to be better known and better understood by the general public. And then we need practitioners who can work with these people and recognize that they're on a spiritual path.
Not only was it my individual purpose to integrate that into this physical experience, but to show other people about that and to make it real for them and help them get closer to releasing the energies that prevent us from keeping that connection. That it's incredibly challenging in this third dimension, even with words, not to mention the experience.
There are multiple ways of gaining awakenings, and one of them is what I call threshold. And you can go through awakening through threshold, or you can go through awakening through education. Threshold is the process of what we're going through on the collective right now. That is there to force something better in the end. Okay? Something bad that we perceive as bad is there to force something good.
The spiritual awakening that we're going through means that we're transcending. And we're transcending the emotional and the mental limitations that we've had in the past and the physical side of ourselves that wants things to be just the way they are. And we're transcending to a higher order thinking human, and a higher order feeling human, and a higher order understanding human.
Well, I learned that it's very important that we give ourselves thinking time each day. Connecting to the universe time is what I like to call it. And I beg my filmmakers to put 15 minutes a day, no cell phones, no televisions, no. We are so bombarded with all of these electronic devices.
When I finally realized meditation is absolutely not about not thinking. It's instead the ability to allow yourself to be spacious enough to let the stuff come, to let the stuff go without becoming reactive, without making comments, without judging yourself or beating yourself up or judging somebody else. And that spaciousness, when you bring it into life, helps to make you present. So instead of reacting all the time to life, you allow it, you're open, you become curious. And I would say that curiosity, that receptivity is spirituality.
If we learn to work together as a family on this planet, because we are, because the changes of the world are driving us to work together to survive the changes, my sense is that what will happen is we will find that we like working together and that we'll continue to work together even when the cycle is no longer threatening our future and our existence, even when the weather is no longer changing and the sea levels are no longer rising and the ice caps are no longer melting. I think we'll continue to do that because I think we'll find that we're better people and that we create a better world when we do so. And if that in fact happens, I think that may be the gift.
From the understanding of physics, while we see ourselves as physical material objects, the truth is we're actually energy vibrational frequencies. Sound is a frequency and light is also a frequency. And if I was to look at a human, I'd basically say that every human is a unique frequency, but when you put all of the human frequencies together, it's the equivalent of putting all of the light frequencies together. And when you put all of the light frequencies together, what you get is white light. And so basically the future for humanity is to recognize we are the white light.
Real maturity, when you can step in where people are, gravitate light, open up their hearts, show them a new perspective, because a new perspective can alter your destiny.
I see now the opposite of depression is finding your passion. And to find your passion, you have to know who you are. You have to know where your heart is, and you have to know what you love. And that means kind of looking inward. Who am I really?
I'm not saying that I don't enjoy the beauty in this world. You know, a lot of people, when they first get into this kind of spirituality, and then they think it means they have to give things up. If you think that you have to give something up, that's making it just as real to your unconscious mind as if you want it. It's really just two sides of the same coin. So the truth is, you can have your cake and eat it too. You know, you can enjoy the things of this world. You know, I tell people, hey, be normal. You know, don't be weird. You know, live a normal life.
I mean, it's boring to be in the karmic system. It is boring. I mean, how much more can we analyze the past, honestly? Really, we know why. We know exactly why we are the way we are. We know exactly why we're stuck. We know everything about our history, our families, our mother, what our dad did, all that kind of stuff, and it's great. And we're a child of God, not a child of our parents. So to have the cellular experience of that is to literally walk out of where we've been into a world where we're all living our purpose.
What does it feel like to be in the presence of someone who's grateful? You want to stay in their presence. You feel loved. You feel appreciated. You become grateful with them. We begin to think like the people we associate with. We affect each other that way.
I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I believe that God is energy, and what? You get more, you feel better, you love more, you have more abundance, you have more wealth, you have more family, you have everything you want. Is that the worst that can happen? Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's jump. Let's jump together, let's hold hands and jump.